You familiar with Brother Ali at all?
Barely.
Yeah. I think I put it in one of our Get Hype mixes before. And I mentioned it to you, a song title that was inappropriate to you this morning.
Yes.
So I needed to pick a song to represent me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this song, Tightrope, where it's 3 verses. And the first verse is about a Somalian immigrant and how I think it's a he. It might have been a she. I don't know what the character gender is a little bit ambiguous a little bit in this song. But anyway, it's a 3-verse thing. First one is from the perspective of a Somalian immigrant child and the way that there's such differences between his home and his peers. And then the second one is from a divided home where the child has divorced parents, and he's always the child's always bouncing back and forth from his house to her house, but he never has a our house or my house.
Oh,
and then the last one, the theme basically is everyone's concerned about him because wants him to have a girlfriend, and they're concerned that he's never had a girlfriend, but he doesn't ever want a girlfriend, right?
These are all different verses of the same song?
It's all different verses of the same song. And the reason why I was thinking, the reason why I was thinking about it is like something unrelated. Like I was asked to pick a song that represents me as a person.
Yeah.
And it was a difficult exercise for me, but the reason why I was leaning towards that song is because it represents social justice in a real like story way. But what I was thinking about is that, like, when did this song come out? Like, I was listening on the way there and I was like, man, this is like really really good, like sign of our times, right? Like that we can be this open about it. And it was released in 2009. So it's a 10-year-old track at this point. Now that's not 80s, right?
Right.
It'd be even more monumental if this kind of thought was an advocacy, because I think I don't know for sure, but I think Brother Ali identifies as him, and I know he comes from a background of he's albino.
Oh, really?
So he a lot of his songs explore themes of other, right? Like being other and what you do with that.
Yeah.
And he's really great at he's got a song that you should check out, Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, is the title of the song. So I know you won't forget it, because saying that. That's about his experience being albino and owning it. But he's really good with the themes of embracing or like communicating the difficulties and the beauty of being other.
Okay.
But that just goes. This was a long tangent to set up a point of like, I listen to a lot of music that's becoming dated.
Oh,
because of like, I listen to a lot of hip hop.
Right. Antiquated references and misogynistic tones, right?
Yeah. And even as far as like Brother Ali's indie peers in that time period at the end of the last decade, I think hip hop's a great genre to be able to anthropologically see our progression as a society as a whole. Because it's especially in the African American community, in the people who come from less, what the middle lower class lives like, and what they think and what makes them excited, what their escapes are and everything. And you can follow kind of a timeline. Now, these are all individuals that represent themselves, but it's always impressive to me when, like, you listen to Tupac's Changes and it holds up.
Right.
Right. You listen to some Jay-Z songs, for example, where he's got a lot of references to specific branded things.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, even the concept of getting pulled over and like getting his car searched and stuff like that. He's Jay-Z now, right? So like his experience of being harassed by cops and stuff like that is probably long. I mean, he's practically a billionaire now, right? One of the most famous couples alive. That's not his experience anymore, right?
mm-hmm.
How can he speak to that anymore?
Mm-hmm.
But so this project that you're working on, where you're asked to self-identify, pick one song that kind of just sums you up. I'm kind of surprised that you didn't go with Meredith Brooks' song, "Bitch."
Hey everyone, welcome to Make Me Like This. I'm Jeff, he is Brandon, and today I'm going to try to make Brandon like pickle sandwiches.
Like a sandwich that is composed of bread and pickles?
The opposite. Pickle as a bread.
Pickle as a bread.
Gherkin buns.
With what inside? Like meat?
So it's like a
lunch
pickle
meat?
sub. Yeah, so you can put, like, think about a sandwich that you would like to eat.
Yeah.
Right? You got your cold cuts.
Mm-hmm.
You got your cheese. You got your tomatoes. You could even, like, go, like, are you a tuna salad man?
No.
No?
Hate that.
No. Are you an egg salad man?
Hate that.
Are you a chicken salad man?
I don't even know what that is.
So you're not a salad sandwich kind of guy.
I mean, I disagree with calling things salad that don't have lettuce in them. So potato salad, macaroni salad, anything like that, I don't buy it.
In general, I agree with you. It's like it'd be better to call it mayonnaise goulash. Because that's what it is, right? That's the binding agent.
That triggered a gag response for me that I was not expecting. Because the word goulash itself is pretty gross. And then you think about, what is it? Well, it's made of things that are pretty gross. All bunch of crap like thrown in a pot, I guess. I don't know. Because it sounds like ghoulish.
When I was in undergrad,
Mm-hmm.
and I had met my future wife,
Yeah.
I was sleeping on a person's couch. I was sleeping on my buddy's couch in
Yeah.
their apartment complex, and Julie lived next door.
Oh.
We all knew each other, right? There was a lot of people coming in and out of this place. It was just a vagabond central.
Yeah.
And one of the random roommates that got assigned with poor guys, just in general, I open apology to any of my roommates or my best friends from college roommates that got randomly stuck with us one of the years where they just got randomly assigned, because we're a tough group and a really tight group to live with.
It's kind of like when in the 9th season of Friends, you bring in Paul Rudd, and you got this core group of 6 people. We always got to bring it back to Friends.
Mm-hmm.
It's the core 6 who have been there from the beginning, right? You're Phoebe, Joey, Chandler, Monica, Rachel, Ross. And then you bring in these other people to sort of be a main character, a main-ish character, right? Because they're a significant other of one of the main people. So obviously they're going to be in a lot of episodes and have a lot of lines. But you can't penetrate that force field of what's the core group.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing you're the Joey of that group.
I would think that if we did a straw poll, I might end up being
You'd probably
the
be
Joey.
the Joey. Yeah.
There was a stupid assumption by an outsider who really that's not fair, because it was an insider for my wife because she lived with her for a couple of years. I just assume if you're not my direct friend, you're an outsider.
Probably.
But that her and I were Ross and Rachel because we ended up getting together. And I was like, that is the last thing. That's the last consideration.
Very presumptuous.
That's the last. You are basic.
Yeah.
If you think that relationships are the most important determining factors of what Friends character you are.
That's true.
I am either a Chandler or a Joey. There's no, in probably somewhere in between that, more closely to a Joey.
Yeah.
Because I am quick-witted, but I'm more like potty humor and dumb.
And you like food.
And I love
And you're driven
food.
by food.
That's the most important factor.
Yeah.
But anyway,
speaking of food,
I should keep eating. But
no, don't keep eating. Tell me more about this pickle situation. That's basically it, right? It's a pickle on top, a pickle on bottom, and then fillings inside, like a cold cuts.
So I don't know if people know this, but you don't eat bread.
I don't eat bread, correct? Yeah.
And
I don't eat regular bread. I can have gluten-free bread, which costs 6 times as much as regular bread.
Yep.
And is about a third the size.
I'm taking a big gamble here.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you like dill pickles, or, I mean, you can make them sweet pickles if you want, any kind of pickles that you want. We should really have our friend Roman on this podcast so he can be consulted about the pickle options. Maybe we'll do a separate
we
recording
might need to pull him in for a follow-up. But I was actually going to reference him because I don't know the difference between a sweet pickle, a dill pickle, a gherkin pickle.
Gherkin's another word for pickle.
Oh, is it?
I think gherkin technically, I don't know if it's a pickle or if it's a cucumber.
Oh.
But like the thing that sticks in my mind is in London, they have one of their tall skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Which is relative to London. They don't have a ton of tall buildings. Is called the Gherkin because it looks like a giant pickle.
Oh, is it rounded at top?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
they have some.
It's a weird design choice.
They have very campy, like functional, on the nose names for the architecture.
Big Ben.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've had one. I made one at home.
Yeah. Because is this recently, or is this like a family recipe?
I saw a post on Facebook.
Oh.
And was like, I like pickles, and I love sandwiches.
Sure.
You're
totally the Joey.
It maybe it might not be like my preferred food.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have a preferred food. I have a lot of foods that I like.
Yes.
But I love making and experimenting with sandwiches.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna make that.
Okay.
So I got some really big pickles, right?
Right. So you had to go to the store and specifically get one that would be large enough to host the
to be a sub bun,
the meat inside. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
how big are we talking?
Like
the big. Okay, you're holding your hands about 8 inches apart.
It's really close to the mic, so everyone will know how long it is.
There you go. Okay, so maybe the size of a smaller sub at Subway.
Yeah.
Or I should say the slim ones at Jimmy John's.
Yeah. I think that's accurate. Like think of this being a Jimmy John's substitute or whatever.
Yeah.
You might even be able to do it with their pickles if you get their pickles whole.
Oh.
Because their pickles are about like that.
Really?
Again,
I don't have a good basis of understanding of how big they actually are because I only have like two affiliations to pickles in my experience. One is when you buy a McDonald's hamburger or cheeseburger, they've got those little tiny like quarter-sized pickles that are cut and they're like sort of ridged, like they're like ridge ruffles, but in pickle form. And I always pick those off because I don't know if you know this, but when I was much younger, when I was in elementary school, I had a very strong gag reflex, and there was stuff that
the one I just made come about by saying goulash.
Yeah, that was probably one of them. But I would see that, and I'm about to relive this, but as you peel the McDonald's bun back, and then like remnants of the bun are just kind of stuck to the hamburger behind, and you just do it enough to scrape off those little tiny rice-sized onions that are chopped up in there. Scrape that crap off. Scrape off the mustard, and then pick off those 2 little ridged pickles. Throw those away. So I accidentally ate one, I think, probably during that time, and was like, oh, gross pickle, and then threw it away. Maybe threw up in my mouth. and then swallowed it because it's embarrassing to throw up in the middle of McDonald's, and then said, I'm done with pickles. So the only other time that I've consumed anything pickle was when our friend Roman made us do pickleback shots. And for those of you listening who don't know what picklebacks are, is it strictly vodka usually?
I think so.
It's a shot of vodka chased by a shot of pickle juice, right? And I think he was very adamant that the brine it's a vinegar-based pickle juice and not the whatever other way that you make that. I don't know.
You can do. I don't understand a lot beyond the vinegar. I'm not a pickle connoisseur. Roman is.
Yeah.
So we should have a follow-up episode just like for him to make us like all different kinds of pickles.
That's true.
But you can make it. Essentially, you make a brine. You put a combination of liquid, whether it be vinegar, water, or whatever you're going to put in there, and then other stuff that gives flavor. So another friend of ours from Louisiana was saying that something big in Louisiana are Kool-Aid pickles, where they put Kool-Aid coloring in the brine. I don't know if I think it's a vinegar-based brine, maybe, but then the Kool-Aid sweetens it out, so it's like this balance of tangy and sweet.
Tangy and sweet.
And they're all like, they're red and blue and purple and all these, and you order it by like, give me a red one.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me an ecto cooler pickle.
It's really like you can do a lot of different stuff with it, but it's essentially the transformation of a cucumber by fermentation.
Okay.
Interesting. So, did you like the picklebacks?
No, I hated it, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was well. Think about if that's the only time that you've ever consumed. Well, and it's not even eating a pickle, right? It was consuming the juice that pickles are.
It's not an apples to apples thing.
Yeah,
I don't like to drink pickle juice. I don't like to drink pickle brine.
Right.
I do like pickles.
You do? Okay, you like obviously, right? But I mean that's the taste that you associate with pickles. That was really my only experience of it for the past,
McDonald's
20,
pickles
25
suck.
years.
And as a kid, I mean, they're wimpy. They don't have the crunch to them. And
they're soggy.
They're soggy, and they're not even vinegary to me. Like they're supposed to be dill pickle chips. And what a pickle should add to a sandwich or a hamburger is some texture with the crunch.
Yeah.
And a little bit of vinegary taste.
So when you have this pickle sandwich thing, my experience, well, I don't have any experience. My understanding is that a pickle is very crunchy. You see that commercial with the stork who's biting into it.
Yep.
Like a cigar for some reason, and he bites it off.
Good
and
pickle
it's
not
like,
soft.
It cracks like a bamboo stick.
Yep.
So when you're eating it like a sandwich, are you putting your mouth around this thing and crunching down and having that hard of a crunch?
Yeah.
Because when you have a sandwich, that's a soft experience.
I thinned it out a little bit, so I cut it in half.
Yep.
The first time I did it, I cut it in half and I used the whole pickle.
Yeah.
And then I took turkey, and I stacked it. When you stacked it crosswise, I got the big deli turkey, and it gave me I put it on one edge of the pickle, sliced open, and it gave me about an inch left on the other side. So I just stacked and folded, and I had to do it like a double fold because it was thinner than a regular profile bun.
Yeah.
So I double folded it, and then I took another piece and I started on the other edge.
Yeah.
So it had this kind of like stacked from side to side so that they were overlapped in the middle.
Right. Kind of like on a commercial when they stack it really high, right?
Yep. I tried it. I tried just two pieces of the big turkey.
Yeah.
With some provolone over top of it. And then I have a little bit of a horseradish. I put a horseradish, it's Sweet Baby Ray's dipping sauce.
Oh.
That's kind of looks like Thousand Island, but just tastes like horseradish.
Okay.
Like mild horseradish, like creamy horseradish. Horseradish. And that was the extent of what I put on that pickle sandwich.
That's it.
That's all I did the first time.
Okay.
I did feel like it was too much pickle.
Yeah.
So what I did the next time was I cut it in half, and then I did a combination of hollowing on each side. Not too much though, because I didn't want to lose the inside of the pickle is like the best part of the pickle.
The most
for me.
tasty part of it.
To me, yeah. Like I like a combination. The skin has to be included in every bite that I take, but for the most part, you want that center. But it was about getting the right ratio of meat to pickle. It was too much pickle.
Yeah.
Pickle should be a complement, not overpowering, and that's the difficulty with the sub bun.
Right.
Using it as a sub bun. So I hollowed it out a little bit, and I also brought the profile down a little bit, so it was a little thinner, and it had a cavity in it, and that cavity proved helpful because I could put more meat in there. Yeah. So I did with my second one, and this is in the same setting. So this is like me eating like pickle sandwich
back to back,
and then getting another one.
Okay.
Right? So you have to be mindful. There might be a little depreciating returns in my thoughts right now. But then I stacked that up. I had
more meat and less overwhelming pickle taste.
Yep. And this time I put pepper jack on it instead of provolone.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I put some deli mustard. And a line of deli mustard and just like a dotted line of mayonnaise to kind of just like level that spice out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I kid you not, it was a different experience than eating a regular sandwich.
Yeah.
But it was enjoyable independently.
Yeah.
Like on its own, like I would eat that again the way that I constructed it the second time.
Yeah. The second time was an A+.
The second, it was. I don't know. I'll say an A because I don't know if I hit the ceiling yet with how good I can make it. Like if I played around with some other vegetables,
you need
some
a third layer of pickle in between. The Sogmaster.
Well, what if I found a different pickle? Right?
Yeah.
Like because pickles vary so much. I mean, bread varies so much too. Like
sure.
Like a good sourdough bread is good for some kinds of sandwiches.
Right.
Where like you and your mood. Right. Sometimes you just want like fluffy white bread.
Yeah.
And,
you're not gonna use cinnamon raisin bread on a Reuben.
Right.
Ooh, maybe that'd be good. I don't know.
Cinnamon raisin bread, what could you use cinnamon raisin bread on? Something where you were, especially like cinnamon cranberry bread is a good bread for like a chicken salad.
Chicken salad sandwich.
A chicken salad.
Grandma's chicken salad.
But
here's throw as many friends references as I can.
Here's where I'm at currently.
Okay.
I've gained some new information that pickles are kind of like a bugaboo for you. You're not necessarily.
Are they?
Well,
just in terms
you had some bad experiences with it.
The fact that I don't like them.
The fact that you have not actually had a pickle since you were a kid.
Not a true pickle.
Not a true pickle.
Yeah.
So it's like you were scarred, but you had limited experiences with pickles, and your palate has definitely evolved since that point.
Yeah,
right.
I would say that.
And I'm not gonna discount like your gluten allergy makes you need to seek out
safe alternatives.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that you're looking to have alternatives for everything, like alternative burger configuration. Like I think I know you well enough to know that you don't have to have the need to replace things. You can go the route of I'll have nachos or I'll have these foods that in their pure form are gluten free.
Don't make me sick.
Right.
Yeah. Except with the exception of donuts. Donuts I will seek out and be like, gotta have some donuts. I don't care if it's $4 for this tiny little postage stamp size donut. I'm gonna have it because I just want it. But for the most part, what you're saying is accurate.
And I think like sandwiches are probably not like a must-have alternative for you. Is that or do you miss like having? I mean, because there's lots of gluten-free alternatives for gluten-free bread for sandwiches.
I would say that I do have sandwiches quite a bit for an easy lunch on the weekends. We've got lots of lunch meat availability at home and stuff, and so if I have got a loaf of gluten-free bread, Occasionally it goes on sale, and when it does, and we get a couple of them. But that is something that I will do quite frequently.
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing that I liked about it was I'm a person that likes vinegar.
Yeah.
The taste of vinegar. Like I prefer sour to sweet.
Okay.
And so for my palate, like this was a good, like I don't even think about it as a sandwich. It's like something else. It's a new food item that I didn't discover, but I like to think I did, and I enjoy it. But I think that if you were willing to take Roman and I's guidance on selecting an appropriate pickle, or if we could find a place where they actually make this kind of stuff, that I really liked how it didn't give me an overly full feeling, because pickles are almost 0 calories.
Right.
So it was basically like eating deli meat and cheese.
Right.
Getting protein and some lactose and stuff like that. But I really felt like it was a good lunchtime,
you were full afterwards?
Workday lunch for me.
And you were
good.
full
afterwards. I had this yesterday.
2.
Yeah.
So you had 2.
Yeah.
And this filled you up.
Mm-hmm. Got me to 5. Got me to it past 5. Got me to like 6.
To dinner time.
Yeah.
The you know what bothers me about pickles is they look like frogs. So if you like got the dark green bumpy back kind of thing, and then I don't know what the consistency of is, but if there's a little squishy, you bite into it, it's like I'm eating a frog right now. I'm a big Muppets fan, and I'm a big supporter of Kermit the Frog. I don't want to do that. But like if it were one of like they have like baby pickles, right? Like that are more pencil size. I don't know, like smaller size. And maybe I could. Well, here's what I would rather do. I would start just by eating a bite of a pickle. Period.
Okay.
If I could get past that and be like, okay, well, as an adult, I taste this. I can handle it. Maybe I even like it. There are some things that I didn't like as a kid, and now I eat all the time. I don't mind asparagus. When you go to a fancy restaurant, and then they have these asparagus that come with your steak or whatever, I'll eat that. As a kid, I never would have eaten that, right? So I'm open to the possibility that my matured palate differs from where I was as a youngster, right? So if I can just taste a pickle in a consequence-free zone, in a judgment-free zone, if I have to like spit it up or gag it out or something, then then that's what happens, and we all go about our business. But if I can do that, eat it, bite it, swallow it, be okay, and say, hey, that wasn't too bad. Let me try that again, but add some hard salami and add some honey baked ham. Something like that. That might be too. What if you do this? Assemble it all together, maybe put some toothpicks in to hold it, and then you put it in a frying pan and you grill it, kind of like sear it on both sides. I'd be open to that.
I might even take the skin off that way, right? Like, because my big thing was like I almost wanted to trim it down by taking the skin off, but then it would be like
you
jelly,
lose its right.
Maybe
more frog-like,
but maybe you need the skin in order.
I think I probably do need the skin to get past that. Texture.
Yeah,
I'm a big texture person. Like taste is up there, but texture is a big factor in my enjoyment. If it's mush, no.
Definitely, I would not advocate for this with mushy pickles.
Right.
When I was visiting my grandparents one time, and they were older and just not eating as rapidly as they once did, my grandpa and I would always make sandwiches together when it was just me and him. And he had Parkinson's towards the end of his life and couldn't drive. And it was a real treat for him to go to the supermarket.
Oh, really?
So I would drive him to the supermarket, and we would get sandwich stuff and strawberries. If you're in Florida, and you're not getting strawberries, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're missing out. Because Florida strawberries, I'll stand behind them. Florida strawberries are the best.
They're kind of living in the shadow of Florida oranges, right? They're oft overlooked.
Florida is a great place for produce. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we got back to the house. We're making sandwiches, just like living the dream, right?
Yeah. Does he make his own sandwiches at that point, or are you making them for him?
I'm making them for him.
Okay.
Low sodium, everything.
Yeah.
But it's still good.
Right.
I mean, you don't need a ton of salt and everything for it to be good.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish I had some pickles. And he's like, we got some. They're in the fridge. It's like way in the back of the fridge.
Yeah.
And I should have known, right? Like, that was my first warning sign. My next mistake was not reading the expiration label before I put it on my sandwich. The next mistake was biting into that thing because it didn't have a crunch, but it didn't give either.
Oh, God.
And
you had me, and then you started this story, and then I'm like, numb.
Then I looked at the label, and it was said, 2 years expired.
Oh, my God.
2 years.
Oh, my God.
By the Best Buy date. So believe me when I say I would supervise this activity.
Okay.
And I would make sure that the pickles were of a certain quality before you consume them.
So gross.
Because I would want you to be grossed out by good pickles.
Yeah.
Like let's make sure if you're gonna be grossed out and we'll have a barf can nearby.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna be grossed out by good pickles.
I'm perfectly fine generalizing pickles. I'm gonna cast all pickles under the same umbrella. If it's good, all pickles are good. If it sucks, all pickles suck. That's how I live my life. Generalization.
There is a shelf life for pickles.
Gross. Man,
I showed Kermit to the door.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You curb stomped Kermit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, mostly I dumpster dumped.
Oh, God.
Kermit.
Oh, God. Ugh. No, man. Oh, okay.
All right. So now that you know everything, I think we're at a point where it's just like you have to decide whether you want to even go on the journey that you mapped out for yourself.
Yeah.
So you still, even though you mapped that out, I want to know, do you like this enough, this idea enough to move forward at all, or is it going to die at the end of this conversation?
Well, can you buy a single pickle? Like, don't you have to buy them in jars of like? You
can go to the store.
Full?
There's some stores. The good delis will
sell a
single pickles.
Pickle. I don't want to invest a whole. I don't know, what do they cost? $5 for a jar of pickles or something like that.
I mean, we could even go to Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
And have them buy a pickle.
Yeah.
And then buy.
Aren't theirs like mushed up and? Like,
yeah, I wouldn't want to go to Jimmy John's.
They're like put in like little plastic sleeves.
I would want to purchase the stuff and make it.
Okay.
From
an actual supermarket or a place that sells things, specialty.
And I would stack the deck, and I would have Roman help me. Like,
okay.
He would talk to you first about like what kind of pickle you'd most likely enjoy.
Yeah.
We could go on the sweet end of stuff. I'm not like gonna make you have.
I guess it depends. Yeah.
A vinegary mess. If like, because do you even like do you like salt and vinegar chips at all or no?
I do like them. Yeah.
So maybe a standard dill pickle, like a good standard dill pickle with some crunch, might be something that. So I'll
take a tester bite, all by itself, and be like, okay, can I proceed? And if yes, then we'll put on the sandwich accoutrement and give it a go. I got to eat the whole thing, right? The whole.
I think you got to. I think that you have to have a session eating it and then decide whether you like it or not.
Okay.
Like we're not gonna. I'm not gonna judge you on your ability to consume the whole thing.
Yeah.
That might be an indicator. I mean, if you eat two of these things, like you eat one of these things and you're like, I need another one, then you're like, you know what, I really don't like it. Then I'm gonna call.
Then you're gonna
bologna.
Yeah.
Especially if you're eating a bologna pickle.
Oh
sandwich
no, do not care for bologna
with yellow mustard.
Oh, stop! That's so gross. Oh man, there's I'm reflecting here and the way that my kids turn up their nose at certain foods and stuff really frustrates me. But yet you say like two simple things like bologna and mustard, and I'm like, ew, disgusting.
I had bologna and mustard sandwiches 3 out of 5 school days as a kid.
Oh God.
When my mom was still making my lunches.
Yeah.
That was my lunch.
That
and that
sounds
was
okay.
with American fake cheese.
Oh,
like
yeah.
one of those
Kraft
singles with the 2%. Not,
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
not the full on singles.
Yeah.
That I don't eat American cheese anymore because of that.
Oh, I don't blame you.
I can do a burger with melted, maybe.
Yeah.
But why not use cheddar, right?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Like if it's gonna be that, make it cheddar.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Okay.
So we'll set this up.
All right. I like it enough to give it the good old college try. I'm not happy about it, but I will honor the challenge that you've presented, and yeah, I like it enough to give it a try because I need more options of things that I can eat. You happy?
Meh.
What a turd, man.